Hey guys, lunch and launch. I'm so excited about today. I really feel like we have a message today. I just want to welcome everybody. Come on in, come on in. It is time. It is lunch and launch. I am ready for you guys. Come on in. We are going to get started. This is a quick 15-minute Instagram Live. This is the lunch and launch, and I just want to thank you guys for coming in. I see one of my employees. I see Laura. I want to welcome Laura. I see one of my faithful Launching Deeper ladies, Patricia. Thank you with Prestige Events. Come on in. I see Marsha. I see some people coming in here. I have a feeling people know and understand that this 15 minutes is going to calibrate them. It's going to set them on a path. I'm going to do a little coaching at the end of this. So you don't want to miss this 15-minute lunch and launch. So come on in, guys. I want you to jump in. I want to thank you guys. I see Phyllis. I see Josette. I see Pat. I thank you. Travell, all you guys, thank you guys for coming in. We're going to get started because I do not want you to miss this. If you see the title, I've titled it, I've Fallen and I Can't Get Up. I've fallen and I can't get up. And my girl Janine, we put this in the chat. Catch me, I'm falling. I can't get up. First of all, guys, I want to say we are living in a time when there is so much happening, so much going on that sometimes, and I don't care who you are, what you have, what you don't have, there are times when we feel like we are falling and we can't get up. I don't want to date myself, but it used to be this commercial and it was a lady, it was for like Life Alert, and she'd fallen on the floor and she had to press the button that said to help her because she had fell and she couldn't get up. So I need somebody just to put in. And I fall, now that's kind of a lot. So just put get up. That's what we're going to put. I'm going to use, get up. That's what we want to do. So I want to talk to you guys real quick about mindset, because out of all the people that I coach, most of it isn't that you don't have the skill set. Most of it isn't that you can't become more competent. And I talk about competence a lot. It's not that most people that want to grow, scale their business, and if you go by my motto, build a business and live the life that you dreamed and hoped for. We know the one that we read in the Word of God. It's not because you don't have what it takes. Most of the time, the issue is mindset. And you know, I was doing my study on this today, and there are 360 times head is mentioned in the Bible. There are over 96 times that mind is mentioned in the Bible. And there are over 62 times that thoughts are mentioned in the Bible. So if we think that the battle, that what God has ordained or placed in our hands doesn't have a lot to do with mindset, we're fooling ourselves. Because I don't care how many business sessions you go to, conferences you go to, it is all about mindset. That is the majority of it. Now, of course, it's competence is what you know. It's a whole lot of other things, but the majority of what causes people not to really use all that God has placed in their hands has to do with mindsets. So I want to ask you guys right now, if you could put it in the chat, on a scale from 10, and 10 is, you know, you're just feeling great. You're on top of the world. You know, we've all had those days. It just seems like everything is going perfect, right? From 10 to 0, and 0 being that day you don't want to get out of bed. That day you feel like, did did I run over a black cat? Did somebody just put a chicken foot in front of my door? I'm going to get real with you guys. There are some days when you feel like, did I miss it, God? Did I do something wrong? Did I, what happened? So on a scale right now, how you're feeling, 12 o'clock on this Thursday, from 10 to 0, 10 being I'm on top of the world, it feels great. Put in the chat where you are. Now, let me say this. Put it in the chat. We are launching Deeper Family. We're a community. We're working together to push and pull one another. So this isn't the time to get shy or to feel like, oh, this person knows me. We have Instagram handles, so people really don't know. So put in the chat where you feel like you are today, where you feel like right now, this is where I am. I see some 5s. I see some 6s. All right. I see an 8. I love that. I love that. I see an 8. I see good. That's my resilience coach. Bounce back greater. Cecily in the house. I see. Yeah. So just like I said, put in the chat where you feel like you are right now in this moment. Now, I was on a session with my coach, and he was talking about this thing that really hit me called an emotional standard. Now, what I like for you guys to, and let me explain quickly what an emotional standard is. And I know I'm talking fast, but 15 minutes goes by so quickly. So an emotional standard is, this is where I want to be. Like, for example, let me give you this example. If you go and you apply for employment for a job and they say, what is the least amount that you'll take? And you may say 50,000, you may say 75,000, you may say 100,000, but every person has a standard. This is the lowest that I am going to accept. I need people to put in the chat where you want to be, where you want your emotional standard to be. Where you want your emotional standard to be right now. So we have people that said where they felt they were right now, but what we want to do is to put in the chat where you would like your emotional standard to be. When you wake up, when you go through your day, where do you want to be? Okay, I see some people putting in the chat, they want to be a 10, they want to be full on, they want to be on top of that mountain. 9.5. I see you guys. I love it. You're coming in. You're saying, hey, I want to be, someone is trying to get in. I'm sorry. I'm trying to let you in. I'm not sure what that is, but this is where you want to be. Now, if you look at where you are, right, and where you want to be, there may be a gap, right? There may be a gap. So I want to talk about 2 things that can help you bridge that gap from where you are some days, some of those days. Now, most people put around a 5. Sometimes, I'll be honest, and I don't know if I'm the only one, there are some days that I have felt like a 3. There's some days that I'm overwhelmed. There are some days that, it's been tough. And to be honest, I wasn't on that, 9 where I say I want to be, or that 8 where I want to be, that I may be a little lower. So there's a couple things, guys, that I want you to take with you today as on this lunch and launch that can help you get to where you want to be. Because I will tell you, in order to launch deeper, and God has, I changed my view today to this view because God has a sense of humor. I had no idea that when God brought me to where I was going to be, that he would force me to look out in deep water. So every day, God reminds me, whether I want to launch deeper or not, he's like, you're launching deeper. I placed you here for a reason. So I don't have a choice. Every morning I wake up and I'm reminded, Jackie, God has called you to launch deeper. And I believe if you're on this call today, God has placed some stuff in your hands, that there's a tug, that there is, you know, that there's so much more that God has called you to do. But I will tell you, emotionally, having an emotional standard will help you get where God is calling you. So the first thing that I want to talk about is reframing, right? Reframing. Some of you guys may have heard about it. Some of you guys have probably read about it, but reframing, and I'll give you an example because it's basically just shifting a negative or limited mindset or perspective to a more empowering, right, and positive mindset. So, for example, if you are trying to lose weight, instead of saying, you know, I'm at the age that they say you can't lose weight, right? I'm at the age that, you know, my metabolism just doesn't work. I just have slow metabolism. You know, I just can't. I tried everything. I think it's genetics. I tried everything. I can't. It's hereditary. My mom was bigger. My aunt was bigger. I can't get to this ideal weight that I am trying to get to. That is such a disempowering frame of mind. So you have to reframe that and say, you know what? I believe that in this season where God is taking me, that I understand that I do have things that could be genetic that could hinder me. So I have to come up with some alternative ways. I have to do maybe some more study and research on ways that I can lose the weight. You see how that switches the mindset? If you are a business owner, instead of saying, you know what, people don't support people that look like me. My community they don't support me. My family won't even support me. You know, we have all kinds of stuff that we say to ourselves. Those are disempowering thoughts. We have to reframe that and say, you know what? In this season, I know God has called me to greater. And I believe that He is going to bring the right people at the right time to help me with what He's called me to do. It is about just flipping that mindset. When you wake up in the morning, and I'm putting on my coaching hat. When you wake up in the morning or you're dealing with a difficult day, dealing with difficult people, because I will tell you, in this age we're living in, people are peopling. We hear that phrase. I'm telling you, I don't get it, but it's like people are just doing the most. I mean, they are. They're just, I don't get it, but you know, people are doing it. And instead of saying, man, I got to deal with these people, man, look how people act, look how people treat me. Instead of saying that, is reframe it and say, Lord, I understand right now people are dealing with a lot of difficulties. They're dealing with a lot of heavy issues. I can't take it personal. I know it's not about me. And I want to find ways that I can help them maybe have a better day. Maybe I can say something encouraging to them. Maybe I can, you know, give them a hug or just say, hey, you look good today. Just encourage one another. So it is about reframing your thoughts. Oh my goodness. And last thing, I got one more minute, are sacred rituals. So what sacred rituals are those things that are sacred to you. If you say, I want to pray every morning. I want to do my devotions every morning. I want to spend an hour working on what God has called me to work on. I want to spend an hour looking at contracts. Just say whatever you say you want to do. Um, that is something that is very sacred to you. So you have to put rituals in place to protect that thing that is sacred to you. So if you know you want to spend time with your children, but you keep getting caught up at work, then you have to put a ritual in place to make sure that you spend time with your children. So that may be at 5 o'clock, I'm stopping because I'm going to make it to my children's game. And it is a sacred ritual that I do every time my child has a game. So it is putting things in place. It's sacred. If something sacred to you is your health, which is, if you're launching deeper, you know, I talk about your health is so important. The life you live is so important, because it doesn't matter if you get the bag and you're broke down, your knees are hurting, your back is hurting. It doesn't matter if you're building this great business, but you're too sick to enjoy it. So if you say, my health is sacred to me, then a ritual may be, I am not eating after 7 o'clock. It is a ritual, and you stick to it and you don't budge on it, because it is protecting that thing that is sacred. Guys, I had so much more for you, but we're over our time. And that's one thing, I want to honor your time. It's 15 minutes, but I just want to encourage you guys to reframe your thinking. I want you to encourage you to understand that your mind, that soul care is so important. And I really want you to start to write down some sacred rituals. So next time we are going to dive deeper into soul care. You do not want to miss this thing. Thursdays, 12 o'clock on Jackie B. Join in, guys. I can't wait to see you, and follow us, because we're doing a whole lot of stuff and we're building a great community. You don't want to miss it. I can't wait until next time. I love you guys. And remember, what we see out here, God is telling us to launch deeper. See you next time. Bye.